Alright, well, on Team Forbidden, this is. Wait. Welcome to our YouTube channel, which is Team Forbidden. It is I, Eric the Cyborg, coming to you with a brand new deck profile. This is probably this is definitely a month a little early, because the Charmer structure decks came out in Europe over the past couple of days as of filming this video. So I decided to order a few online for Mr. Andrew over here, because he wanted to build Charmers, and silly old me accidentally ordered another set of the structure deck. So I said, fuck it, I'll do it as well. But this time, instead of how Andrew's doing it, which you'll see in another video, I'm doing it with dogmatica, because obviously they're spellcasters and they actually have pretty good synergy with the deck itself. So let's go into it. So I made normal summon 3 Fairy Tale Luna. She searches a spellcaster monster with 1850 attack upon summon. So she can either surge herself or any of the familiar Charmers. And her other effect is that she can target one monster on the field. Yeah, one face of monster on the field. And if your opponent has another copy to set the graveyard of that monster, it gets negated. If not, herself and that monster gets bounced back to the hand. So it's a good little removal that's non-destruction, but it is targetable, so it's kind of a even factor. Onto the extenders. Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of Nefariousness. That is a super mouthful. You can first summon him from your hand if you show a spellcaster monster, which most of this deck already is, but you can only control one of them at a time. And during the end phase, if it's in your graveyard, you can destroy one monster on your field and summon it back out from the graveyard. You obviously just use them just to get your plays going off, your extend plays off. I'm also running 2 of Inari Fire. This is the same thing as Nefarious. It's a free summon from hand. If you have a spellcaster on the field, you can only have one on the board. And if this once per turn during your next semi-phase, after the face-up card on the field was destroyed by card effects at the graveyard, you can summon it back from your graveyard. I wish the effect would go off if it was also destroyed by battle. But you take what you can get pretty much most of these times. So starting off with the new Charmers that came from the structure deck. 2 of Awakening of the Possessed, Nefarious Archfiend. I don't think Nefarious is an actual word, but anyway, you summon this card from either your hand or deck by shoving back a spellcaster and a earth monster from your field back to the deck. Once she is summoned, she targets one monster, one level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard and summons it out. And if she leaves the field, you can search for a possessed spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. And then I'm running one of the fire ones. The greater Inari Fire, same summon condition as Nefarious, except you show back a fire monster and spellcaster. This one on summon. So upon summon, you basically deal burn damage to your opponent based on the target monster's or original attack. So basically summon it, target a monster that your opponent controls, and just deal effect damage to them. And if it's sent to the graveyard, it'll add a spiritual fire art card or one possessed spell trap card from your deck to your hand. Then I'm running one of the regular Hita and one of Asa for additional normal summons for having spellcasters that are AC 50, because it makes them switchable with the Fairy Tale Luna. Their only effect is that you can summon them from your hand by sending you send one Asa and a Earth monster from Fields of the Graveyard to summon her from your hand, and then same thing with Hita. So you do it with Hita and a fire monster, and the only effect is that they just get piercing damage to when they battle a defense monster. So you may just have them there for more normal summons. So that is the Charmers. Onto the Dogmaticas. Obviously, Dogmaticas, you're running 3 Ecclesia. She searches for any Dogmatica card on normal or first summon, and if you do, you're locked out of your extra deck for the rest of the turn. That's pretty much all she do. And then for release for Monster Fight Negation, and yeah. And then Ash Blossom, because it's Ash Blossom, one of the best hand cards right now in the format, and next to Joel Lockford. Onto the spells. 3 of Ichirin, Grand Spiritual Art Ichirin. This card is a once per turn monster negate, as long as you have a monster on your field that has 1500 defense. Which, by the way, Ecclesia is a spellcaster with 1500 defense. Who would have thought? The side effect is that you can reveal reveal one spellcaster monster from your hand. If you do, add one monster with the same attribute but with 1500 attack, 200 defense from your deck to your hand. So this is mainly used for if you have the level 5s in your hand, to just shuffle them back to the deck to search the free summons. So yeah, that's the field spell right there. Running 3 of Spirit Charmers. Discard 1 card. Take 2 cards from your deck that are either Charmer, Familiar, Possessed, or possessed cards. You add one of them to your hand, and then you set the other one to your field. So this mainly just gets your search for your spells and traps. That's pretty much all you search with it for. I'm running double Awakening. This gives a 300 boost to all your monsters. Monsters you control gain 300 attack for each different attribute you control. So if you have a bunch of different attributes, all your monsters gain 300 attack for each one. Charmer monsters and familiar possessed monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects with it. And if you normal or if you normal or put summon a spellcaster monster with 1850 attack, you draw a card. So there's also a nice little draw power for the deck upon normal summon of either Fairy Tale Luna or any of the level 4 Charmers. Then obviously with the big dynamica, you have playing 3 Meteor Servant. Don't really got to explain much of this. For those who don't know, you send a monster from your extra deck to your graveyard, and you search for a dynamica monster with attack equal or less than the monster you sent to the graveyard. So that's pretty much all your dogmatica stuff you're going to be searching. And of course, you're locked out of your extra deck the rest of the turn you use it. And then one terraformer, you won't call by the grave. Traps. 2 possessed partnerships. This is one of your forms of removal. Activate this. Summon one spellcaster monster that has 1500 defense from a hand or grave, which Ecclesia is a valid target for one of them, for it obviously. And you summon it out to your field. And if you have 2 monsters on your field that are different attributes, you can destroy 1 card in the field. I mean, sure, it's non-targeting, but it's also destruction, so kind of a fair balance on that point. And then you can banish it from your graveyard to target a possessed spell or trap card from your graveyard and set it face down on your field, or face up on the field, or just places it on field actually. Which is why I'm running only one of the unpossessed. This is your battle protection for your charmer slash familiar monsters. They also gain a familiar possessed monster you control attacks on the opponent's monster. It gains 800 attack during that calculation only. If a monster you control is destroyed by valid card effects, while this card is already face up on your spell trap card zone, you summon one spellcaster monster with 1500 defense from your deck. This attribute is different from at least one of those destroyed monsters or original attributes on the field in citation if it's on the defense position. So if any of your charmers die, you summon another spellcaster with 1500 defense. Yeah. That's a different attribute. Obviously, you're not running any other light spellcaster monsters that have that stats except for the Ecclesia, which I've already shown. Those are the Charmer traps. Obviously, dogmaticas. 3 dogmatic punishment. Another form of destruction and spell removal. Send a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Target 1 monster in the field that has attack less than or equal to that monster and destroy them. And you're locked out of the extra deck until the next of the end turn, or the end phase of the next turn. And then 3 impermanence because it's impermanence and it's another monster fight negation. So onto the extra deck. I'm still working things out in this deck. I'll probably eventually go towards the Shadal version with it, because Shadals and Dynamica work great together. But anyway, right now, 1 Masquerena, and then 1 of each of the Charmers links. 1 Alsa, 1 Wind, 1 Area, 1 Hita. I mean, the Charmer deck, kind of wonder how to run 1 of each. You don't really go into them very much, I mean, you go to them most times. The ones you're mostly going to more are also in the Hita. But you go up to area if you happen to get Gizmek locked with the Gizmek, the Fox Gizmek. I don't recall his name right now. But yeah, definitely 2s. Link 3s being Nano Unicorn for your Masquerade play. And then Celine for obviously with all the new spellcasters. This works out with the deck a lot, and it helps to get out access code talker a lot faster. Speaking of access code, here's Appaloosa, and of course access code talker for your Link 4s. One of these monster Abyss Dweller. It's the best Link 4 right now. Rank 4 right now in this format because there's a lot of graveyard dependent decks going on right now with Eldritch, Dragon Link, whatever. And then one secret monster, aside from Omega. You're probably wondering why Omega. Well, it turns out with Omega, it's just a free dump with the Dear Servant because you send him off your graveyard, you get your search, or with the punishments and send him off, pop a card, and then if he's in your graveyard, you can shuffle himself and one card from the graveyard back to the deck. So pretty much it's free material to send off for a free search. And then obviously with dogmatic stuff, 2 Entis and 2 Titaniclad for free summon, a summon from your extra deck, and then popping cards. So that is currently dynamica Charmers. Like I said, I'm still figuring it out. I'll eventually get the shit all stuff and do that version because it's obviously a lot better than the one I have right now. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell. Stay safe out there, everyone.